So let's get into some story time. I was at an event. I want to say it was in Portland. Maybe it was the Portland Plant Medicine Gathering, and I took a class with No McBride, and he was bringing up the story where he was out wildcrafting with you, and I want to say there was some sort story related to Balsamroot and how the Balsamroot was peering at the sun in the morning, and I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but it made me want to meet you. And it just sounded like such a fun and magical experience. And I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts or opinions on the underappreciated balsamroot, Balsamorhiza sagittata, if I recall.
Yes, correct. So Balsamorhiza or balsamroot is a fascinating herb, and it's like many flowers do this. The flowers will follow the sun. And so as the sun moves across the sky, they like to keep their faces in the sun, sunflowers. It's like, oh, the leaves are making photosynthesis, but the flowers are also gathering energy. And maybe I could go off on all kinds of story tangents here, but I will say that just as the leaves, the photons of the sun hit the leaves take them in and with their chlorophyll and use them to create sugars and cellulose and perfumes and plant herbivore deterrents and all kinds. It's a chemical factory powered by the sun. Each leaf is a solar panel. The unseen realm, the nature spirit fairy realm, they take other parts of the sun's energy and feed it, transfer it to the plant. And in a sense, they're a transferal agency. So the plant does not live by sunshine alone, but by other particles, you might say more spiritual or cosmic particles that is also emitted by the sun. And so maybe that's why the flowers like to follow the sun. Mm-hmm. In a sense, there's something going on more than mere photosynthesis or something like that. Balsamroot are one of the most underappreciated medicinal plants in the Western U.S. There's a huge amount of it. You could never unsustainably wildcraft it because cows don't like to eat it. And as a result, all this rangeland still has lots of balsamroot. In fact, it may be an increaser under grazing. So there's countless hillsides and mountainsides of balsamroot here. They're very long-lived. I'm sure that I'm sure 50, maybe, I don't know about 100, but they do die of old age eventually. But they're such a strong taproot that it has a outer coating that is like rock hard. It looks kind of like cottonwood bark, but it's like rock hard. And then the inside is like a rope that they tie ships up with. It looks just kind of like a braided rope. And when that goes down into the ground and sinks in there, it is very difficult to get out. It's the second hardest root to dig, right after redwood's number one. But the Native Americans out in the prairies where they were sleeping at night and they needed to stake their horses so they wouldn't run off or get stolen or whatever, they would clear around the base of a big balsamroot plant and tie their horse to the balsamroot plant because it could never pull it up. So they used a hitching post. So these things are incredibly tough, and it's useful for immune stimulant and also sort of lung problems. It's sort of an expectorant, kind of like elecampane, for instance. So it's said that it's a fair amount like echinacea in terms of its properties. It doesn't have the spice or anything, but it's a wonderful medicinal, should be used more in the world. And there's a lot of it out there. So anyway, Balsamorhiza sagittata, we sell that in our catalog. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually have one experience with balsamroot. Really, it happened in the Columbine School with Howie Brownstein, and one day during class we actually dug up a root, and I can attest to it. I want to say there was a group of like 4 of us, and we were at it for like 2 hours trying to get that thing up, and it's still I still don't think we got the full root, but one of my favorite things about it, and I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I really love the smell of the root. I want to say Howie described it as like grandpa's cologne or something like that.
Well, balsam root, any plant that's got the word balsam in, is going to be fragrant, because that's, that term means fragrant.
Hey everyone, this is Mason with HerbRally. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and also go ahead and subscribe. We come out with new herbal content each and every week. If you didn't know, HerbRally also lists herbalism events. We list herbalism events chronologically. We list them also by state. So you could just go ahead and search by Oregon or Wisconsin or wherever you live. You can find out what herbalism events are happening in your neck of the woods. We also list herbalism events, virtual herbal events. So if you can't make it to an in-person conference or plant walk, we list lots of virtual events as well. To find out more, you could go to herbalrally.com/events or herbalrally.com/virtual. But if you can help it, I would highly recommend trying to go to an herbalism conference. Those are some of the best learning experiences I've ever had, and that's where you can find different herbal teachers, and then maybe you could perhaps take their apprenticeship. But yeah, just do what you can. Get out there and learn about the herbs, like yarrow, dandelion, corn, all the above, like all the medicinal herbs. And we'll see you out there. Hope to see you at an herb conference. All right, bye.